Welcome to Not Your Cup of Tea. This is episode 11 with Aisha.
And Tia.
This episode, Tia is going to share her story with us. I know most of our episodes are funny. We're laughing. It's a ha-ha good time. But as we all know, sometimes in life we go through struggles. So we felt that it's good to let people know what some of our struggles have been in life because some people could be going through the same thing. So we want to share our raw and realness.
Yeah, and 5 million people have asked what actually happened and what was wrong. And I hate telling the story 500 million more times, but I'll do it today for the world. So everybody watch this episode because I'm not going to talk about it no more.
It's like one deal. This is the we're closing a door to that chapter.
Closing. So let's go back to 2023. In May 17th, I went in to have a laparoscopic, very minimal surgery to have my left ovary and a cyst removed. So, had that done. The procedure, I thought went well. I didn't feel anything at that point. But I was at my mom's for about a week because she would not let me go home.
That's what moms are good for.
She wouldn't let me go home. So I was at her house for about a week. And after 7 days, I was like, okay, I've had it. I'm going home. So my daughter drove me home that day. And as soon as I got home, it was on a Sunday, actually, May 21st. I went home, and as soon as I got home, I started having excruciating pain, just a pain I can never describe. I've never had.
Yeah. And
I thought, maybe, I needed a laxative or so I did a Walgreens order and had some stuff delivered, took that, nothing happened. And as time progressed, I kept getting, the pain just kept getting more intense. So at this point, Aaliyah's like, I think I need to take you somewhere. So we get in the car, and on our way to the hospital, she's like, well, where do you want me to take you? I was like, I don't care. And I say that because I feel like had she not taken me where she did, I wouldn't be here talking to y'all today.
You were in Bellevue, though.
I was in Bellevue.
So your options were like
Centennial, yeah,
Vanderbilt, St. Thomas.
Yeah, and Centennial would have been the place I would have verbally said had I not been in pain. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I didn't say anything, and I'm glad she took me to Vanderbilt where she did.
Where was your procedure done at?
In Dixon. I won't say the doctor's name just because she ain't finna sue me.
We don't need no legal trouble.
So I won't say the doctor's name, but yes, it was a doctor in Dixon at TriStar Horizon.
Okay.
So on the way to the hospital, when I say any bump she hit in the highway, it affected, it was painful. So I get to Vanderbilt, and of course, if you've ever been in Vanderbilt's ER, you know that it is a scene out of
a war movie.
Yes.
It's beds all in the aisles,
in the hallways,
people
everywhere. So I'm sitting in a wheelchair just waiting to be called, and pain kept getting worse and worse. So I tell a nurse, I'm like, look, somebody needs to take me back because I feel like I'm about to pass out. So that didn't, make them alarmed or anything that I was just about to pass out. So I lied. I was like, look, I'm having heart trouble. My heart hurts.
They didn't want you to die in the lobby from a heart attack.
So when I said that, that's when they moved into action. And they took me back to a room, what they call the fast track room, where they see you quicker than the normal person. So I'm sitting in here. Again, pain is getting worse and worse and worse. I'm on the phone with my mama, because she's on her way to Nashville at that point. And a pain hit me that I could never, worse than childbirth.
Where was this pain located?
In my stomach.
Okay.
It was in my stomach.
Upper, lower abdomen?
My whole entire, my stomach.
Yeah.
So I was on the phone with mama and a pain hit me and I let out the most excruciating yell. And people were in that room like looking at me. And when I came to, because I blacked out.
Oh, wow.
And when I came to, I was laying in the floor in this room with doctors and nurses surrounding me, trying to bring me back because my blood pressure had bottomed out. I almost died in there.
Oh, wow.
My blood pressure had bottomed out. So they get me back, do tests, CAT scans, see nothing, but they know something is wrong. They just don't know what. So let's fast forward to about 2 a.m. the next morning. They keep me, of course, and take me to a room. And I had 2 surgeons come in the room and examine me at 2:00 in the morning. So they, raised up my gown and looked at my stomach. And I'm going to show pictures. I'm going to post pictures because anybody that knows me knows my stomach is flat. I had a pregnant belly when they came and examined me. And if the doctor just did that to my stomach, it hurt. Like I screamed.
Mm.
So he was like, there's something going on. He said, and we're going to have to, go in and do some exploratory surgery. We'll go back in through your laparoscopic wounds. He said, but, just know that we may have to cut you if we can't see what we need to see. So it's like, okay, fine. I go to surgery. I wake up from surgery with a scar from under my breast all the way down to my pubic bone. And a colostomy bag, a shit bag, as I called it. So
I know that had to be terrifying. Like
it was terrifying. It was I didn't know. I was mad, like angry. I was sad because I'm like, what the hell is it? Like I gotta walk around with this forever,
right?
And they kept reinstilling in me that no, this is 6 months. You'll have to wear it for at least 6 months. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So that in itself done a whole thing to my mental.
Right.
Just
it would do that to anyone.
A whole thing to my mental, especially coming from a healthy person, because I was fine before then. Hell, we had went out celebrating Cinco de Mayo the week before.
Yes, we did.
So
just because you were going to have your surgery.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, not expecting this to happen. So, I went into that surgery was on May 22nd. I thought I was beginning to feel better, so I got off of my liquid diet and went to soft foods. And at that point, I was drinking water and I was getting sick, throwing up, just sick.
Just from water?
Yes. So they came back in. I couldn't hold anything down. And that's when they put the first, what they call an NG tube, put the first NG tube in me. I'll show pictures of that too, because to do that while somebody's awake is torture.
Oh, wow.
They stick it in your nose and it goes down your throat. And I was awake during that whole time. They did that.
I cannot imagine.
So yeah, that was excruciating. And then the next day, I had surgery number 2 due to an obstruction with the colostomy. So that was surgery number 2 in a matter of a couple of days. Fast forward to May 31st, surgery number 3, because again, wasn't getting better. Every time they x-rayed me or done a CAT scan, they seen something and had to go in to fix it.
And this is from the original procedure?
The original procedure. And let me back up real quick, because the doctor that did the original procedure, I had called their office that Monday. Yeah, that Monday or Tuesday that I was in the hospital, just to let them know what had happened. I wasn't calling because I'm like trying to say, hey, you did this. I'm just calling to let them know because they were my doctor and it happened.
Yeah, but you are having complications.
Yeah.
And they need to know.
So called the office, let them know. She ended up calling me back. She did. And, I told her what was going on, and she kind of sounded surprised, like, oh no, like what happened? And what had happened was when she went in to do that laparoscopic surgery, she burned my intestines.
Mm.
So my intestines were burned. They had to go in that initial surgery and take out the burn part and reconnect it somehow. That's why I ended up with the bag.
Mm.
So Um, let's fast forward to June 2nd, another surgery number 4. And this is all, I've never
Back
been
to
released
back.
back to back. Surgery number 4, again, for another obstruction. So had another surgery, and then finally, after 22 days, I was released the first time. I got to go home. Had lost a ton of weight. I think I weighed like 120 pounds at that point.
Right.
Um, but 2 weeks later, I started having pain again. It was like when I was drinking. If I drunk anything, it hurt to drink. It hurt my stomach when it hit my stomach. So I'm like, something's all right again. So Mama takes me to Natchez in Dixon because at that point I was back at her house. And they did a CT scan, another obstruction.
Oh, wow.
So they had to send me back to Vanderbilt by ambulance. They, of course, admitted me, done surgery number 5. And that was in July. We're fast forwarding to July because I was in the hospital 4th of July that year. And that went well. So I thought. I was released on July 6th. And 2 weeks later was readmitted for the same thing.
Wow.
More complications. Well, no, this last time, it was due to an infection because of all the previous surgeries that I had.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a very long stay. That was like a 2-day stay this time. And after all that, I went through, what did I say, 5, 6 surgeries within a month.
Very short span.
And so from August to December of that year, I was beginning to heal, and I was counting down because I knew December was my 6-month date. That was my birthday present.
Right.
Was I'm getting this shit back off of me. Because to have to live through that, and after going through it, I realized that it's a lot more common than you think.
Yeah.
But still to
experience it, and you didn't know you were getting it. Like, you woke up with it.
I woke up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up with it. So I began to heal. August we went to Miami for your birthday.
Yeah.
Still sick then. Probably should have kept my ass at
Right.
home.
I was like, everybody was so worried, like, oh my gosh, should she go? And I was like, I know she wants to go. I know she wants to just like get away. But of course we were worried about your health. And
Yeah.
so whenever you stayed back at the house, I was like, whew, oh my God, it was her decision. But we were glad that you stayed back.
I missed dinner that first night because I wasn't feeling good. But fast forward to December 6th to be exact, I went in to have my colostomy reversed. So I was in the hospital then for about a week. And that was more of an emotional stay because throughout all these surgeries, it was like every time I went in, I was having a pep talk with myself. Like, okay, Tia, you got to wake up from this. But then after number 3 or 4, I didn't tell anybody, but I kind of just given up because I was tired.
Yeah.
I was so tired. So, it was a lot mentally to deal with. And I'll never forget the very first, when I was released after the 22 days, I had got in the car, Leah had pulled the car around, I got in the car and I just started crying. And she was like, are you hurt? Like, what's wrong?
She didn't know what was going on.
Like, no, I'm not hurt. I'm just thinking, like, I could have left here a whole different way. You didn't have to be picking me up. Like, I could have been in the back of Tommy's car,
right,
going to Taylor Funeral Home.
Exactly.
Because a couple of times it was like that. So, yeah, that's what happened. I'm well. I'm recovered from it. I will post pictures because I kept a lot of pictures, and I know a lot of people are going to ask, did you sue? I tried. And when I say I had a list of about 16 attorneys that I had went through all over Middle Tennessee and some even in East Tennessee, nobody would take the case. So
is it because it was elective?
No, because it wasn't elective. It was something that needs to be done medically.
Okay.
But, doctors, and I understand this from attorney world, but doctors they make you sign all these releases when you go in to make sure, they're not held liable for anything.
And you're just going through and you're signing everything.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
because
I'm saying most people go
no.
through and they're just
I
like, let me
read
sign this
before I sign
that.
things. And yeah, most people do. But I had signed the release, so I talked to actually one of my old bosses and asked him in the beginning before I even went on this journey of trying to find an attorney, like, do I really have a case? Because I signed a release. He was like, yeah. He said, that's bullshit. He said, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because basically it's malpractice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So went through so many attorneys after letdown after letdown. I felt defeated at that point. And at one point, I even stopped just calling because I was just like, it's not going to work. So maybe a month or two later, I had a whole year from May the 14th, to May the 14th the following year to get this taken care of because of my statute. So the very last attorney that I talked to, he was so confident that, I had something and, he was eager to help, really eager to help. He's told me to send my medical records and he'll have his nurse paralegal look at it. So the nurse looked at it and, she told him there's no way you can get anything out of this. And they told me then, they said, we hate to sound morbid, but the reason why you didn't get anything is because you didn't die.
Oh, wow. That's crazy to tell someone.
Your family would have benefited had you died, but because you did not die, you lived from that.
Yeah.
Nobody's
so regardless of whatever you went through, just because, you didn't, you survived it.
Yes, and I'm living with things that happen, like for the rest of my life, dealing with things like I'll never be able to lift anything over 35 pounds. Found out actually about a month ago that I have what they call white brain matter. And what that is, I couldn't remember anything, and it was really bothering me. I couldn't remember stuff. I could be mid-conversation with people, and I would go blank. And I'm like it wasn't your typical just being forgetful. It was
literally just out of your mind.
Yeah. So I went to the doctor, did a MRI, and found out that I have white brain matter. And what that is where I had so much anesthesia in a short period of time, it put lesions on my brain.
Oh, wow.
So that was what is causing my forgetfulness or not able to remember. Or if somebody says, hey, you remember when we did this? Yeah, no, I probably don't, and it's nothing that can get better. It won't get worse, but it's basically something I've got to live with without being compensated for anything.
That's insane. Who was your biggest supporter throughout this?
I had a tribe. Y'all, of course,
I remember, I was coming from a trip. I don't even remember where I was coming from. And I had heard you were in the hospital, and I stopped and got flowers from the airport.
She did.
And went straight to the hospital. I was like, oh my gosh, no.
But I had a tribe, and it was so funny. Number one, I'll say the team at Vanderbilt, I had an amazing team. After I got released that first time, I went and bought cookies for the whole floor for the nurses because they were amazing. And they would always come in my room and there would always be somebody there visiting me. Or I had this window, which I called my window of happiness because that was the only thing that was happy for me at that point was my flowers and balloons. Yeah. My window of happiness. And, they would come in and be like, we've never seen a patient that has this many people come or, all these flowers, because it was a lot.
Yeah.
But I did. My family, at that time, my grandmother was still living. It's crazy because that's when she was going through her treatments for her kidney cancer. And it was so weird because she and I, we fed off of each other. If she was down, I was down. If I was down, she was down. And when I say she would not miss the opportunity to come to the hospital and sit with me or be there, even after her treatment days, she was downstairs taking treatment. She'd come back upstairs and sit with me. So yeah, I had my entire family, everybody, my daddy, he was there every day, mama, y'all, like I said, I have an amazing tribe.
Yeah. So What was the scariest point in all of that for you?
Probably surgery number 3. I got to that point. Um, and I'll never forget when the doctors came in and they had this look on their face, like and I just shook my head and said, "Not again." And me and my daddy both started crying, because I was just, I was afraid. Like I said, I was tired, and that's a lot of surgeries back to back, and I was just afraid I wouldn't wake up. The only thing that I can say that kept me going, that made me have those pep talks with myself before the surgery, is my grandmama, because I knew if something happened to me, that would kill her.
Yeah.
So that was my reason for fighting at that point. But it got very scary.
I remember you always saying, I don't want anything to happen to her or
Mm.
me during this time.
Yeah.
I want to get out of here so I
Yep.
can be with her.
Yep.
I do remember that. So, did this experience test your faith or did it
Oh,
make
hell
it
yeah.
stronger?
Yes. Not that, because I've always been a nice person, I guess, per se.
Heavy on the person.
But, it did test my faith. It made me look at life in a whole different way. It made me look at people in a whole different way, because now I find the good in anything. If people come to me with some negative bullshit, I'm like, look, I don't want to hear it. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because that tested my faith, that made me stronger. It made me be nicer to people.
No more Regina George, mean girl.
Yeah, no more of that.
Yeah. So, throughout the whole thing, what would be your advice to someone who was experiencing a similar situation?
It's like, I want to say, don't sign the releases, but if you don't sign the releases, you
You
don't
ain't
have
get no
you don't
surgery.
have the surgery.
It's simple.
So it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't, because I did everything what I thought was the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing I can tell anyone how to deal with it, or how, if they're going through something similar. Just prayer goes a long way.
It does.
And that is really what helps me through, not only me praying for myself, but my tribe praying for me. So yeah, that's about all I can say on that.
No. Well, I do appreciate you sharing your story with us, because I know it's not easy sometimes being vulnerable and putting yourself out there and showing things that you've been through, because sometimes, like, after things happen to us, we shell up and fold it up and put it up in the closet.
And I did, and that with this, I hated going to doctor's appointments after that, because of course, doctors ask, well, have you had any recent surgery? So I have to go through surgery 1 through 100.
It's like, have I had a surgery?
I have to go through 1 through 100 to get them the background of everything before we can start on anything. And the reaction that I get from doctors themselves is like, wow,
yeah,
you went through a lot. I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
Did you try to sue? I've had doctors ask me that.
It is a malpractice case. It really is.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm more than happy that you have overcome all of that. Yes. And you survived and you are thriving. And the memory part, if you ever forget a time that we were out, I will be more than happy to remind you what happened.
Somebody's got to remember something.
Some of those nights, neither one of us remember, so it doesn't matter. But she will share pictures and videos of her experience, and we do want to thank you all for joining us. Until next time, all right. Thank you.